I am Drew Taylor, Larry Weinstein,
And this is Elena Samakina. Oh, wait a minute. Should we do it so that we say our own names?
Yeah,
sure.
you can do that too.
Okay. I'm Drew Taylor.
I'm Larry Weinstein.
And the film is?
Our film is called Our Man in Tehran, which is showing here in full frame at 11 a.m. tomorrow, Sunday. And it's basically, how would you describe it? I always say it's basically the documentary version of Argo, but without the lies.
That's pretty accurate. Yes.
Except Americans don't know there are lies in Argo, so
No,
I don't.
but they will now.
Yeah, because this is the
U.S.
American
premiere. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Now, how did you guys first get Ambassador Taylor? Is the
Ambassador
focus
Taylor
of your film?
is somebody that Elena met.
Yes, I met our ambassador, Canadian ambassador, in July 2012. So it was just a couple of months before Argo was released. And Ken was open. He told me his story, and he told me the details that I was not aware of. And it turned out no one was aware of. He told me the details, the extent to which he helped to prepare the operation, the Eagle Claw rescue mission. And I thought the story should be documented. Everyone knew about him saving 6 Americans, but the extent to which he helped to plan the rescue mission is something that I felt should have been told. And I came to Drew, and Drew brought us to Larry.
So, I mean, Drew and Elena have a new company in Toronto called Filmhouse Inc. And though they were working on other projects, they knew that this story should be told pretty quickly, and I think partly in response to Argo, and so I guess the feeling was that there was a better chance that we could raise money quickly if a company, my company, Rhombus Media, we've been around for a long time, since before they were born. In fact, it was formed the same year that the Americans were taken hostage by the Iranians, 1979, and when Ken Taylor was involved. So anyway, together we could kind of combine forces and try to raise money quickly, and it actually was through Drew and Elena's connections as well. But together we kind of consolidated it and did a lot of brainstorming. How can we make this a really good film and really worthy of its subject? But we had a problem because we didn't know what Argo hadn't been released yet when we were conceiving our idea. And so if Argo had done a really great job of telling the story and told it fairly, and then there really would be no reason for a film. So we were quite relieved when we saw it and saw that was not the case, that Argo didn't really tell the story fairly. So we had a film to make.
What was your first tip that Argo wasn't quite based completely on all the facts?
Well, I think the warning was when Elena spoke to Ken and talked about the process of making Argo.
Well, Ken Taylor was not consulted. No one asked Ken to even come to the premiere at the Toronto Film Festival. But he knew about that Warner Brothers is going to make this film, and they decided not to consult with him. So we thought that probably it will not be true to historical facts, but we did not know, because I know that they used the book that Tony Mendes wrote, and he did a lot of credit to, he gave a lot of credit to Canada, so we really did not know what the film was going to be about, but...
Well, the book is different. Tony Mendes' book, Tony's very fair in his evaluation of what Canada did in these operations, but the film went into a different direction. And the truth is that, the truth is revealed in our film. It was very much a Canadian story that saved these Americans and then tried to help the 52 hostages as well. But the facts were kind of ignored a bit. And no one got angrier in seeing Argo than Jimmy Carter. He got really, really angry at the unfairness of Argo, and said publicly on CNN and various places that the Canadians deserved 90% of the credit for the operations and what happened, and he was very indignant. So anyway, that's sort of the basis of our film, but we wanted something that was really historically interesting and engaging, and also had more context than Argo. with a big section devoted to the Iranian Revolution and what it was all about, and the Shah and Khomeini and what led to all of this.
We included Ken Taylor into our film.
Oh yeah, we invited him to the premiere
Yes.
as well. We invited Ken to the premiere. So
In Toronto or down here?
we opened it at TIFF in Toronto, the Toronto International Film Festival.
And he's coming tomorrow.
And he's going to be here. But we also we've shown it a lot in Canada, but we were kind of waiting for an American premiere and sort of interested in what Americans will think of it. Although we've had some indications from writers that we don't need to apologize that it's too Canadian, because that's a very Canadian thing to apologize for everything. But it's not like that. People so far have been very, very supportive of it here. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Have you had a chance to show it to Jimmy Carter yet, or is that?
Yeah, Jimmy Carter saw it and wrote a letter to Drew.
Yeah.
What did he say?
So we actually saw him at the Habitat for Humanity kind of gala in New York, and we gave him the film, and we were kind of anxious to see what his response would be back, because he was so giving with, providing us with quotes, and we accessed some material from the Carter Center that's included in the film, and it was positive. He sent a handwritten letter back saying that he thoroughly enjoyed the film and we did a fantastic job.
He said his words were, "It's an excellent film."
It's an excellent film.
We actually, in truth, we were hoping we would interview him as well in the film, but he got very busy with his housing projects and stuff, and the film, I think you feel like he's in the film. It's very much a film as well about his struggles, and I think you feel a lot of compassion for him. But so maybe that's why he likes it. But yeah, it's such an important part of. It's interesting because this was 1979, and things only started opening up again a few months ago. There was no dialogue with Iran and the States, for instance, and Obama and Rouhani started talking just a few months ago, and so the story now continues after this huge break of 34 years. So it feels more relevant than had we made it even 10 years ago.
Now, have any Iranian diplomats or somebody, is there any response from them yet after TIFF?
Not in Iran. I'm not aware of it. Maybe you know something since, but
No responses from Iran, but we have gotten some responses from a lot of Iranians that are living in North America now. I mean, one of the big tests was at the very first time we screened in theaters in Canada. A prominent journalist in Canada who is Iranian, Gian Ghomeshi, was present. And he's with the CBC, and he had been very critical of Argo. And written about how it really portrays Iranians in a negative light as kind of like these bearded religious zealots, and so he was looking at it not from the perspective of, oh, it's taken away Canada's story, even although that was true. It was that the Iranians as well were upset with the way this was portrayed. So it was very important for us from the start to make sure that we were providing the American, the Canadian, and the Iranian perspective, and we interviewed Iranians for the film. So his response though was great, because it's kind of like a test to see, okay, well, how is that the Iranian community gonna receive this film? And I think his quote was the next day, "Our man in Tehran is the perfect antidote to the reductive fiction of Argo."
And then but there are a lot of Iranian people would come to various screenings, and one lady in the Q&A that said, "I have a huge bone to pick with you guys about the Iranian aspect of this film." And I thought, oh no, here it comes. Because it's really hard when you're a documentary filmmaker to cover all the bases and to be fair, and especially if it's outside your own culture, you don't know always if you're portraying things properly. So she said, yeah, I have a real problem with this film, and so what? Well, tell us. We need to learn. And she said, my problem is that you have not properly advertised this film to the Iranian community of North America, because every Iranian should see this film, because you portrayed it, you portrayed the situation perfectly, or something like that, and it's like, I love that kind of criticism. I can take it. So yeah, we've been talking about that, and it'd be great. I mean, I think probably in Iran fairly soon, we probably can show it there. Up till now, our lives would have been endangered, I think, but hopefully that won't be the case.
Now, are you trying an Oscar campaign for it?
Well, I mean, it has to be shown in the States, and I mean, it's we that's sort of jumping the gun. I mean,
This is day one in the U.S. On Sunday.
no,
so
day -1.
Day -1, exactly. So Sunday's day one, and we'll probably just take it from there. Hopefully, we're hoping to have a chance to make it into theaters very briefly here, and then be available on broadcast for people to see it. And if that leads to something like that, then that's fantastic. But right now we're focused on having a successful screening at full front.
And getting an American. We don't have an American distributor yet,
Right.
So we would like to. I think we kind of need that first. Although I guess so many filmmakers are self-distributing now. But yeah, I mean, we've had in my company we've had a couple of brushes with the Oscars, and so I kind of know the process a little bit. But you know.
You know, if you're trying to get support from the producers of the movies that lost to Argo for the Oscar.
Well, that's funny. You know, Ben Affleck actually offered to narrate our film, and we don't have narration in our film. And in a way, Ben Affleck isn't really the person we should be asking to narrate a film that's reacting against his approach to the film. Although it might have been good for box office. We were going to write lines for him like, "My film is full of shit. This is the way it really happened." But I don't know he would have done that. I suspect he might not have.
Okay.